Good afternoon, fourth grade. Today we're going to continue reading in our novel, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon. And we are going to be reading chapter 5. And so just to review, in chapter 3, Minley buys a goldfish and her mom is upset, but her dad, wants to believe in the magic of the goldfish, that it will change their fortune. And so that night, Minley cannot sleep. This is in chapter 4. She cannot sleep because she feels so bad that she put her family, kind of in danger because they can't afford to feed the goldfish. And so she slips out of bed and she takes the goldfish with her and she puts the goldfish in the Jade River. And she's like, I'm sorry I can't keep you, but this is for the best. And so she's like, too bad I can't go to Neverending Mountain. And the fish, stops and looks at her, and the fish begins to speak and says that she knows where Neverending Mountain is. And Minley is startled, but she listens to the fish. And so the fish has said she swam all the rivers except one, and Minley has put her in the river that she has not swum in yet, so she's very thankful to Minley. And then she says, she will tell Minley how to get to Neverending Mountain so that she can, ask the old man of the moon to change her fortune. And Minley listens to the fish. All right, so now we're in chapter 5 on page 30, and we're in the first page of our notes, and get ready to fill in the blanks at the top. It says, Minley also bought a goldfish from a man. Her mother was upset, but her father was understanding. Minley felt bad for spending her money, so she decided to set the fish free. Before the fish swam off, he told Minley how to find the old man of the moon. Press pause to write down your answer or to rewind so that you can re-listen to the blanks and play when you are ready for the focus question. And today we want to know, what does Minley's fast evidence reveal about her character? Our vocabulary words for today, the first one is ambitious. That's when you are determined to succeed. And so we would draw a line to this picture. This person is determined to reach for the stars and grab their hold of their dreams. The second one is fruitless. That's something that's unproductive. You don't get the results that you want. And that's this picture in the middle. This person is writing and they keep throwing away their drafts because their work is fruitless. They cannot come up with a good idea. And then the last one is foolish. That's when you do something that does not make sense. So this person is literally driving down the road the wrong way. All right, turn the page. And today we're going to read pages 30 through 32 of chapter 5. So open up your book and get ready to follow along and underline the CSPS evidence. I'm at the next morning. The next morning, Minley felt as if her head was spinning with thoughts and plans. She was so busy thinking and plotting that she barely noticed her parents nodding sadly at each other when they saw the empty fishbowl. And in the fields, when Minley worked as if in a daze, her parents said nothing about her slow and messy planting. So when the sun began to set and Minley went home to make dinner, she quickly washed and made the rice. Then she set the table for 2 people, sat down, and wrote this note. So we'll stop right there. We already have information for our character and our setting. And so if we're looking at the middle of that first paragraph, we know that Minley has a lot on her mind. She has a lot on her mind, and because she's thinking about what the fish told her the night before. So if we are in the character, we would say Minley has a lot on her mind because she's thinking about what the fish told her the night before. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the evidence from the text. And we would write down this sentence in the second part of box 1. She was so busy thinking and plotting that she barely noticed her parents nodding sadly at each other when they saw the empty fishbowl. All right, we write that sentence down in the second part of box 1. Press play to write down your answer. Pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the setting. In the text, it tells us that it's the next morning and Minli is working in the fields and then she goes home to make dinner. So in box 2, we would write the story takes place the next day where Minli works in the fields and then goes home to make dinner. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And then we could write down this part in the second paragraph that says, when the sun began to set and Minli went home to make dinner. We could write that part down in the second part of box 2. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. All right, and so Minli, remember she set the table for 2 and then she sat down to write a note. We're at the top of page 31. Dear Ma and Ba, I am going to Never Ending Mountain to ask the old man of the moon how I can change our fortune. I might be away for many days, but don't worry, I will be fine. When I come back, we will be able to fill our house with gold and jade. Love your obedient daughter, Minli. The obedient part isn't completely true, Minli thought to herself, as she knew her parents would not be happy to find her gone. But it's not false either. They didn't say I couldn't go, so I'm not being disobedient. Still, Minli knew it wasn't entirely right either, but she shook away her uneasy feelings and prepared for her journey. We'll stop right there. We found our problem. Minli is running away from home to find the old man of the moon. So write this down in box 3. Minli is running away from home to find the old man of the moon. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. At the bottom of page 31, we could write this quote down. It says, still, Minli knew it wasn't entirely right either, but she shook away her uneasy feelings and prepared for her journey. We would write that down in the second part of box 3. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for box 4. All right, we're going to turn the page and find out our solution. It says, on a blanket she put, top of page 30, a needle, a pair of chopsticks, her white rabbit rice bowl, a small piece of dried bamboo, a hollow gourd full of water, a small knife, a fish net, some uncooked rice, a large pot, and the one remaining copper coin. Then she wrapped her blanket into a bag and tied it on her back and took the last look at the shabby house. Through the window, Fruitless Mountain stood like a shadow, but Minli closed her eyes and imagined the house shimmering with gold and the mountain jade green with trees and smiled. Then she opened the door and left. All right, so Minli actually followed through with her plan and she ran away from home. And so we don't have, we would say that like her problem hasn't been solved. Like she actually did run away from home and she doesn't have her parents' permission. So in box 4 we would write the problem was not solved because Minli ran away without permission. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the second part. And it says, how do you know? And we can write down this quote on page 32. Then she opened the door and left. would write that down in the second part of box 4. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you are ready for the paragraph. And if we keep going, it says, what kind of person is Min Lee and how do you know? So you should think about it. What kind of person is someone if they run away from home? How do you know? And you can use these sentence starters in the left-hand column to help you out.